This is Haris Kruskic, BR Live's combat sports reporter, and today we are here with the Underground King, Eddie Alvarez of One Championship. Eddie, how are you?
I'm excellent, man. Just tying up some loose ends.
Tying up some loose ends. So we're here to talk about April 7th, your upcoming fight against Iuri Lapicus on TNT. You're back in prime time in the U.S. So first and foremost, how are you feeling?
I'm excellent, man. I had like a beautiful training camp. Got to improve on a lot of things. Got to work on a lot of things that I've been wanting to work on, and I'm feeling really good, man. Feeling real energized and really excited about this fight coming up.
So we haven't seen you in the cage in about a year and a half or so. Obviously, multiple factors. How do you overcome inactivity? Because we've seen Iuri Lapicus fight twice last year, and we've seen it time and time again where it doesn't necessarily always matter who the better fighter is. Sometimes it just matters who's been more active. So how do you overcome that?
I train with high level people. You know, everybody I train with is high level opponents, and I train with the best guys in the world from all over. So I don't have inactivity. I go to the gym on a Tuesday. I go to the gym on Saturday, and I have the hardest opponents in front of me, much harder than the guys I face outside when I go to compete on TV. So I don't really deal with inactivity. I think on a daily basis, I'm fighting. I'm always fighting. So for a guy who maybe goes out and drinks and does all kinds of partying and doing all that, that's one thing, but that's not me. I'm in the gym, I'm training, and I'm helping opponents get ready. I'm not helping opponents. I'm helping my teammates get ready for opponents, and just staying active.
What are your impressions of Lapicus? What does he do well, and where do you think you can take advantage of him?
I think he's well-rounded. I think he's a relaxed fighter. He seems beyond his years. He's only 25, but he seems pretty relaxed in there. He trains with Giorgio Petrosian, who's a well-named kickboxer, so I'm sure, have good kicks, good technique on that realm, and he's from a judo background, so it makes him just well-rounded. But for me, I bring experience that he'll never have. I've been in terrible moments. He has a nearly undefeated record, so he hasn't been in a lot of terrible moments, and I think they're important to be in order to become better as a fighter and fight at the elite level, because you're always, there's a small margin for error, and when you're going against the best guys in the world, you're going to be in bad moments, and you got to learn how to deal with them. And I'm gonna guess that he's gonna be in some very bad moments during this fight, and whether he gets over them or not is gonna be purely up to him.
When you moved to One Championship, you went up from 155 to 170. Has that been one of your bigger challenges at One? Because in both fights that you've had, you just seem smaller than the other two guys.
Yeah, it's been a challenge because I'm a natural 155 pounder. And when I first came over, I was fighting at 55 and making the cuts to 55. So my body naturally was smaller. And even my teammates were 155 pounders. So I wasn't even going with bigger guys. So it was important to make that adjustment, begin to go with bigger teammates, so I can adjust to a bigger body and get the conditioning and the strength for a bigger body in front of me. And I just think it's an adjustment in general. And it took, there was a learning curve, and even this time off was a blessing, because I got to experience that and make them proper adjustments that I need to make.
If you wanted to, could you make 155 naturally with no cut? Because we spoke to Demetrius Johnson, and he said there's no way he could go back to 125 now.
I think there's a possibility. I just have to make some lifestyle changes, but it would be a lot of work. I'm pretty damn lean, man. So when I start getting down, my body gets lean. So I don't know. I'd have to consult with a professional in order to kind of figure that out.
Got it. So you face Iuri Lapicus this on April 7th. Not to look too far ahead, but if you defeat him, I know you've had your eyes on Christian Lee for a good while now in that lightweight championship. Do you think you get a title shot if you defeat Lapicus?
I mean, I believe so. I believe I'll be deserving. Lapicus is number two. I took out the former champion. And Edward Folion, take out the number two guy, and then I'm sniffing at a title shot. So it's not really about Christian Lee. It's about whoever's holding that title. Whoever gets that belt around their waist the week after I fight is going to have a target on their back, and I'm coming after them.
So you mentioned the week after your fight, April 14th. I wanted to run by a few of the other matches that are on the One on TNT series and just get your thoughts and predictions on them. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So like you mentioned, Christian Lee against Timothy Nastukin on April 14th. How do you think that one goes?
I mean, it's hard to say. We haven't seen Timothy on his back much. And I think Christian's going to force that game. He's going to try to take him down. Timothy has a good takedown defense. He's strong. He's athletic. I think if Christian don't establish the grappling and establish the wrestling in the first round, that Timothy can put him down. But I think if Christian comes out and he's able to establish a takedown and establish his grappling, that he'll end up gassing Timothy out and being able to finish the fight.
So going back to April 7th, on your card, Demetrius Johnson against Adriano Moraes.
Yeah, I never bet against Demetrius. Demetrius, to me, he's one of the all-time greats, if not the all-time great. And, you don't bet against Demetrius. Demetrius knows how to win. He knows how to make adjustments within the fight that he's in. And, he wins. That's what he does.
It's fair enough. April 28th, Sage Northcutt against Shinya Aoki. You've fought Shinya Aoki twice now.
Yeah, I don't I think the style matchup isn't great for Sage. I think Shinya's a veteran of the sport. I don't like that style matchup for Sage. I think the grappling is way too, there's too much of a gap in the grappling there. Shinya is a master on the ground. He's able to submit anyone in the world. And I think I don't know if Sage is going to have to stay away from any amount of grappling, because you get tied up with Shinya Aoki and you get submitted. That's what Shinya does.
Were you surprised that one made that fight, knowing what Sage went through, 2 years ago and hasn't been back in the ring since?
I don't know if I would say I'm surprised, because Sage is an athlete, and if he just uses his athletic skills and stays on the outside and kind of stays safe, he can catch Shinya Aoki and put him down. Shinya does not like to deal with punches. He won't take a lot of punches before he just taps out. So, athletically, Sage can beat him. It's just, it seems like to me, that's a bad style matchup for Sage.
And last one, the Underground King, Eddie Alvarez against Iuri Lapicus. How does that one go?
I'm going to win. I put in way too hard of a camp, made too many sacrifices, and I'm more ready than ever. My hand will be raised. Nothing he does to me is going to work. And everything I do to him is going to work.
There you have it, straight from Underground King's mouth. Eddie, thank you so much. Thank you again for the time, and best of luck on April 7th.
Thank you, my man.